All right. So welcome. Welcome to this session. Yes, I will be sending the recording afterwards. I will send it. We have our channel. You can go to our channel and you'll be able to see all our recordings of the previous sessions at that academy. If you go to YouTube at that academy, you will be able to see the recordings of the previous sessions. And I will talk about this later on. All right. Okay. So welcome to this workshop on natural language processing application in financial trading and investing. This is one of our workshops in the series of AI application in the finance sector. Okay, we have been having this workshops from starting from 1st of January. All right, we had the first workshop on the first, and then every week we have another workshop series, 4 days a week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. All right. So I am Abubakar Sani Ali, and I will be the one who will guide you through the workshop today. As a disclaimer, I would like to mention that what we are going to discuss today is basically and solely for the sake of education. So it's for educational purpose, not a financial advice. We recommend and we say this all the time that if you are seeking a financial advice, then please consult an expert financial advisor because he will have more idea about your financial history and what could be right for you. But here, what you're going to see is basically for educational purpose. All right. So the agenda for today. First of all, I will start with an introduction with the welcoming remarks. After that, I will discuss the basics of AI and machine learning. We will then talk about natural language processing and how it relates with AI. We will see how this natural language processing can be used to build a trading strategy. Okay. After that, I will show you a framework that I use to build a trading bot, which you can also follow so that you can have a trading bot that will be able to employ natural language processing as a core strategy. We will open the floor for a Q&A. Then we will discuss the next steps after the workshop, what you need to do. And we will have a live demo. So for those who would like to see how this natural language processing can be applied in real life, you can stay behind for the live demo and we will see how that is done. Then we will close the session. All right. So if you have any question in the course of my explanation and the slides, you can just drop it in the chat. Okay. If maybe it is long, you would like to speak out, then you can raise up your hand and I will give you the floor to speak. And yeah, so with that, without further ado, I would like to start with the welcoming remarks. And I welcome you. I hope you will be able to stay till the end of the session because you will be able to gain a lot of value. And thanks for showing up. I am your presenter, Abubakar Sana Ali. Had my PhD in electrical engineering and computer science from Khalifa University in the UAE. I specialize in building and developing AI powered systems. So I have worked in building different types of systems for different companies and individuals that are powered by AI. This is one of those applications of AI, which is, of course, finance, how AI is used in the financial sector. I have also been in the education arena for more than a decade. I've been tutor, been primary school or secondary school teacher. I've also been a university lecturer, and I'm still a lecturer at the university. So this is a little bit about myself. The host institution is called Asa Taura Services, and it's established here in the UAE, in Sharjah. We do services such as consultancy. So if you have any consultancy issue related to AI, that's some of the things we offer. We also offer trainings and we also do workshops. Not only that, we do research and development in the context of AI, IoT, cybersecurity. So, what is the goal? What is your own takeaway? This is about us and about me, but that is not why we are here. We are here to see that we impact value on you who have put in your time to attending this workshop. So what do you get? What do we expect that you will be able to get at the end of the workshop? First of all, if you are new to AI and machine learning, one thing you will be able to get at the end of the workshop is that you will have a basic understanding of AI and machine learning, okay? And how it is used in the context of trading and investing. The next thing is we will also look at some case studies, which you can also be able to see firsthand. And with little Googling, you should be able to also find more case studies where AI is used in this regard. Lastly, another thing that will add value to you is to see how we can build a trading bot that is going to use natural language processing as a core strategy. Okay, so these are the three workshop goals, which I hope by the end of the session you will have as a takeaway. Okay, as a takeaway information. All right. So without further ado, I will dive into the basics of machine learning. Okay, and as I said, if you have any question while I am presenting these slides, you can just send them in the chat and I will be happy to respond. So AI, uh, artificial intelligence. Okay, so when we talk about AI, we are looking at the system where we are trying to simulate human intelligence. So we want machines and computer systems to have the ability of simulating human intelligence so that they will be able to carry functions that humans are able have the capacity of taking. They can be able to do those types of activities and do those types of functions. Not only that, it comes in different forms. There are different fields under AI. All right, you have evolutionary computation, this where you have things like genetics, things like where you have algorithms such as the anti-colony, you know genetic algorithm, particle swarm optimization. All these are part of evolutionary computation, and it's also part of AI. You have search algorithms, breadth first search, deep first search. These are also a specific type of AI. We have natural language processing, what we are going to see also, and we also have computer vision, another subset of AI. Okay, then we have the machine learning aspect. So machine learning aspect, this is the type of AI where the computers learn from history, so or from experience. So if you have a historical data, you have some information. All right, you can use this to teach the computer so that it can be able to learn patterns embedded in the data. And by doing that, it is able to come up with some mapping or a function that applies to that particular data without you having to sit down and explicitly program the computer. For example, let's say we are talking about finance, right? Let's say you have been able to go and get all the historical trades made by Warren Buffett. Okay, so we have all the historical trades. Buffett was able to buy at this price, this particular stock. And when he bought this particular stock, that this is the situation. Maybe there was a good news. So he decided to buy. He looked at the fundamentals of the company, did the ratios, and based on that, he made his decision of buying. And this is the amount. This he put how many percentage of his total capital or asset under management into buying that particular share or stock. So all this information, assuming you have it, so instead of coming down on your own, sitting down, looking at the data, trying to come up with a pattern, so that you understand what is the pattern that Warren Buffett follows to be able to decide on buying a particular stock. Then that is, once you know this pattern, then you sit and program this pattern in the computer. Tell it, okay, when the PE, price to earning ratio is above this value, and then the news is a good news, so we have positive news, then buy stock this price or this amount of stock from this particular uh, asset. So this is like you sitting down, understanding the data, then explicitly programming the computer. Okay. But when it comes to machine learning, we don't want to sit down and do that work. We will just want to feed this data, this historical data we obtain based on Warren Buffett's history, and we want the AI or the machine learning algorithm to teach a model how to understand the pattern. So the algorithm will teach this model, and the model that we will get will be able to come up with that mapping. So all these things that we will have been the ones to sit down and come up with this pattern, we delegate all this job to the computer. All we have to do is to provide the data to it. So that's machine learning. So there are some subsets of AI, as I said, and machine learning is one of those subsets. Okay, it's one of those subsets, and of course there could be some overlapping. For example, natural language processing is a subset of AI. However, it could be also a subset of machine learning, or you can say there is an intersection, okay, between AI and machine learning. So if the core algorithm that is the one that is processing the natural language, and that the engine behind it is a machine learning based engine, then you say this is a machine learning based natural language processing system. Okay. And we have the deep learning. So deep learning also, as I said, machine learning is a subset of AI. Deep learning is also a subset of machine learning. Okay. Because machine learning comes in different shapes. We have different types of algorithms in machine learning. One of those algorithms is those that are based on what we call neural networks. These are powerful algorithms that have been making huge strides in the recent times. So if you have used, let's say, ChatGPT, all these are powered by a type of neural network based on a transformer architecture. Okay, so these are some like core concepts when it comes to AI, machine learning, and deep learning. Okay, so this is how all of these come together. All right. So now moving to the applications of AI and machine learning in finance. Has it been used? Just as I gave you an example, previously about getting historical data from Warren Buffett, and then try to train this model to be able to learn, the pattern and why and when Warren Buffett makes trades or buys and invests in a company. This type of application is the algorithmic trading or investing system. Okay. So if that is what you want the AI to do, look at historical data, sorry, and decide when to buy or invest in a stock or buy a certain asset. We have also fraud detection. This one is used mostly in the banking system. So they are trying to figure out if there is going to be a fraud. So maybe there is an email coming to your inbox, and based on the AI system that was trained on huge data, it can be able to figure out if the email is a spam. So if you have spam email coming in, they can easily stop the email from dropping in your inbox, thereby preventing the fraud in the first place from taking place. So they use this kind of systems in this regard. They also use it in customer service. Okay, so you have, for example, if you go to the bank and you are trying to have access to customer service, you can pick up your phone and maybe call, or you walk into the bank. But if you pick up the call, most of the time they pass you through a speech bot, right? You talk to a robot. The Some of the robots are powerful enough that they can even offer you customized or personalized support. Some have some pre-programmed instructions, or prompts they ask you so that they get input from you. Okay, but those powerful ones are mostly powered by AI. Those ones are very powerful to the extent that you can speak to them, and they can easily access the database of the bank regarding, frequently asked questions and stuff like that, and provide you with a solution to your problem without you having to talk to an agent. Another way is maybe through a chatbot. So you try to reach the banking system, and they provide a chatbot for you to chat with them. So all this is what some of the applications of AI in the financial sector. All right. So we have talked about AI and its application, and how it relates to machine learning as well as deep learning. Now I would like to talk a little bit about machine learning. And this is also another key takeaway. If you are able to understand this part also, it is going to go a long way for you in the context of machine learning. Normally, when it comes to machine learning, we have three major types. There are other subtypes, but these are the three major types of machine learning you will come across. And this, of course, we are talking about predictive AI. Okay, we are trying to predict a certain value, a certain event, or something like that. As I told you about, when you look at, for example, the case of Warren Buffett trading bot that we're trying to build, for example, that bot is expected to make prediction, and the prediction is what will Warren Buffett do, right? What will Warren Buffett do if this is the situation or scenario he finds himself in? So this kind of AI, of course, is a machine learning AI. And as I said, it comes in three shapes. We have supervised learning, unsupervised learning, and reinforcement learning. So just as the name implies, supervised learning means while you are learning or while the model is undergoing the training process, there is a supervisor that is there to guide the training process. Okay, it's like having a teacher and a student. Let's say you are in the real estate market, or you are, let's focus on the financial market. Let's say you are a trader, you just join, a trading flow, and you have your mentor who is there to teach you how to trade. Okay, so he tells you, all right, so this is what will happen. I will execute 100 trades, and each trade I execute, I will tell you why I made that trade. Okay, and I will give you logical explanation. Nothing has to do with emotions, for example. So he entered the first trade, and he told this his student or the mentee that the reason why I entered this trade is because the PE, the price to earning ratio, is less than this value. You know, uh, the sentiment. I read a news that people are happy with this stock. Okay, and maybe look at the microeconomics data. Inflation rate or the interest rate now is very high. They have just increased the interest rate, so that means that is good, for example. So all these are the reasons why I said, okay, it is high time I buy. So that is the first trade. The second trade too, you do this, you record it down, you do it, and you keep doing this. You have, let's say, 100 trades. So he tells you, now you know why I do this, why I go long, why I go short. It's up to you now to sit down and figure out a pattern, so that when you see this pattern recurring again, you should be able to do that. Okay, you should be able to come to a decision of whether to go long or to go short. Okay, so this type of learning approach is what we call the supervised learning approach, and it comes in two shapes. We have regression and we have classification. If what you are trying to predict is a numerical value, for example, that expert trader is trying to predict how what is going to be the price of the stock, maybe in 1 year or in 1 month or in 1 week or in 1 day. That is trying to predict the price. So this kind of problem is called regression. Okay, so let's say now Tesla is 200, and based on those features we indicated, let's say interest rate, PE, and the sentiment, we predicted that Tesla is going to reach 300. From 200 it's going to reach 300. So this prediction type, okay, this type of prediction is called regression. So if your problem which you are trying to solve is in this type of manner, then you know that you can use a supervised learning approach if you have the historical data. Okay, and the regression algorithms are the ones you should employ. In the case that the first example I made, where he tells you I'm going long or I'm going short, okay, in this kind of thing, this is kind of categorical. prediction. We are trying to predict whether we are going long, whether we are going short, or whether we are holding. So this is a classification problem. Okay. We have the unsupervised learning, similar to what we discussed in the supervised learning. The only difference is we don't know the outcome. In the data, we have the historical data, but we have no idea of the outcome. Okay. Uh, for example, this person gave us history of his trades. Okay. He said, okay, on day one I entered a trade, on day two I entered a trade. He told us he entered a trade, but how did he, like, is he going long or is he going short? We have no idea, you know. Or did he predict that the price is going to go to a certain value? Is that his prediction or no? All of that outcome we don't know. Did he even win or did he lose? We have no idea. Okay. All we have is that these are the number of trades he made, and these are the indicators when he made those trades, the features or the characteristics of his trade. So in this kind of approach, we call it unsupervised learning. Okay, similar to in the classroom, you have a teacher, he gives you textbook to go and learn, maybe mathematics without the answers. You see algebraic formulas and equations and exercises, you go sit down, solve. But there is no answer to tell you whether you are learning the right thing or wrong thing. So in this kind of thing, the only thing maybe you can learn or the machine learning algorithm can learn is how to maybe group things that look similar. Assuming, let's say you go to the park and you are trying to teach your sibling how to identify animals, and you forget to give him the names of the animals. You only show him animals. Okay, this is an animal, this is an animal, this is an animal. So all he can come up with at the end of the day is that, okay, these animals belong together because they have the same shape, they look the same, they look alike. These animals also belong together, they have the same shape, they look alike. But no idea of the names. So he can't identify them by name, but he can identify them by a cluster. So this is kind of what we call unsupervised learning. In the case of reinforcement learning, no data is available, no outcome is available. So as I was telling you the example, okay, you have this trader that is trying to learn financial trading or investing, and he just goes to the Wall Street and he goes with his money in his pocket. All he wants to do is to learn, and nobody there to teach him. So what he did was just decide to, what, I'm going to learn by trial and error. I will just be buying and then I will be recording my trades to see what happens. So he goes, sees a stock without no idea, buys the stock, and he lost his money. He records whatever happened at that time, record the outcome, buys another one, kept at it until maybe after a while he start to figure out a pattern. Okay, so I see. When things like this happen, then it is a good news. Then maybe I should do this. Okay, so he learns by trial and error. So this is what we call reinforcement learning. And for the record, we have discussed each and every one of these types of machine learning and how it is going to be used, how it can be used to build a trading and investing strategy in our previous sessions. So if you are interested in learning how these types of machine learning, supervised, unsupervised, or reinforcement learning can be applied in the context of trading and investing, you can revisit our previous session recordings, and you will be able to have access to that information. However, our own major concern of today is the natural language processing part, and this is the it comes in different shapes. Okay, however, we will see that when we talk about learning natural language processing, we are talking about that branch of AI that helps computers understand, interpret, and manipulate human language. So you can have different situations where you have AI that cannot understand and interpret human language. We have them of different types, but the type of AI that can do that is what we call the natural language processing, and it is able to carry out different types of tasks. For example, we have text translation. You can give it a text in, let's say, English, and it can be able to translate this to French, to Spanish, to Portuguese, to Arabic, for example. Okay, we have sentiment analysis, another task. And this is where it reads, for example, a particular article and it tells you what is the sentiment. Is this a good news? Is it positive? Are people happy? All the sentiment is neutral, or the sentiment is negative, you know. So this is sentiment analysis, and it is mm, they use sentiment analysis like a lot. They use it a lot when it comes to trading. Okay, we have speech recognition. Okay, so these are systems that you speak to and they recognize what you said and they give you response. You have systems like Alexa, you have Cortana, you have Siri, Google Voice. These are the most popular ones. So this is one kind of task that is powered by natural language processing. Okay, and in when it comes to finance, the way it is used mostly is to either one sit and analyze a financial report. Okay, so let's say you have a financial report of a stock and you don't have the time to sit and read it. You can give it to this system, this AI system, the natural language processing system, and it will analyze it, maybe summarize it for you. You know, this is good, right? Not only that, it does sentiment analysis. Okay, let's say you have 1,000 articles. You can't sit and read all 1,000 articles about Apple. So what you can do is, for example, have a natural language processing system, give it all this information, all these news articles, and all you need from it to tell you whether this article is talking about a positive thing or it is a negative article. So if people are happy, we expect the sentiment to be positive, right? Another application in the finance, okay, in the financial market is they use it to do real-time stock market monitoring, okay, and they use it to build trading strategies based on sentiment, and this is what we have explained also. So you can have this, and one of one company that is very well known to be a user of this kind of approach is the Renaissance Technologies by Dean Simmons, the company in Wall Street, right? So they use natural language processing systems to do sentiment analysis. Based on that, they buy and sell. They know that if there is a positive news about any stock, it is going to go up. So they have their systems in place. Once there is a good news, the systems will buy, and it is of course going to go up. Once it goes up, they sell. Okay, so that is one of their systems. Of course, they have different statistical, mathematical, AI-based techniques. So many types of computational techniques they have there. But one of the ones that are pronounced is the sentiment analysis. BlackRock, they have also this system called Aladdin. They also use it. Citadel, Charles Schwab, JP Morgan, all these big guys have been using AI or machine learning or natural language processing in one way or the other, their companies. For example, you have Charles Schwab, they have what they call the robo advisor. So what this advisor does is you come to it, you discuss with it your own financial situation and it provides you a professional and expert advice, financial advice that is personalized to you and your situation. Okay, so they have this robo, they call it robo advisor. So it's a natural language processing system because it takes in your natural language and spit out also natural language. Okay, and why do we want to use these systems when it comes to trading and investing? First of all, the improvement in predictive accuracy. It significantly improves your accuracy. Sometimes you could be biased, and that will affect your predictions. However, these systems they have no emotion, so we don't expect them to be biased in this case. They can also analyze huge chunk of data, something maybe humans cannot be able to do. But for them, you can give them huge amount of data, they can sit down and they can analyze it. Okay. And of course, I'm sure if you make a decision and you have a robot backing your decision, you will feel more confident about your decision and prediction. So they use it for all of these reasons. All right. So with this, the next part of the session is going to talk about the framework of building a trading bot. We will look at a step-by-step demonstration of how a trading bot can be built. Okay. As I said, if you have any question, you can send it via the chat, and I will be able to respond as soon as possible. If there are no questions, I will start with the framework. I believe there are no questions. All right. So before we go into that, there is something I should also discuss, which is the components of trading. Whether you are going to use computer to trade or you are going to trade manually. By manually, I mean maybe opening a brokerage account and you are the one who is placing the trades yourself or buying the stocks yourself, investing. Or even you go to Wall Street if they still have stands there, and buy by paying to those brokers, you know, that's manual, okay? Manual square. Okay. So whatever it is you're going to do, these are the three components. First of all, you have what we call the strategy. You should have a strategy when you are going to invest or you are going to trade. You cannot just be going to the market and just be throwing out, throwing away your money. You have to have a strategy. What is the reason for you to buy? What is the reason for you to sell if you are holding a particular asset? Psychology also is another component. What is your emotional state? What is the state of mind? What is your state of mind when you are buying? Are you in a good emotional condition? You are happy? Are you sad? Are you going for a revenge trade? Maybe the market took away some money and you are not happy and you want to have have your own revenge, or you are just being greedy. You've already won enough, but you can't call yourself to quit for the day, or you are fearful. You see a good opportunity, but you are afraid if you buy, you might lose all your money. So all these are emotional states, like how you are feeling at the moment you are making trades. The last part is the management. This is the last component. If you are buying, trading, or investing, how are you managing? Are you just putting all your money in just one single or particular stock? Or are you just putting a portion of the money? Okay. Are you going to stay? Are you going to buy a particular stock maybe till the end of time? Maybe you just want even to buy it for the sake of your grandchildren when they maybe grow up, you know, or you have a plan. You are just buying it for a certain amount of time, or you are buying it till it reaches a certain level, a value. You have a set value that you have in mind. Once it reaches that value, you intend to sell. So this is like your take profit. And do you intend to buy the stock and stay there till death do you apart, or till the company went bankrupt and you lose all your money, or there is a certain amount of loss you are willing to accept? Okay, so this is all part of the management. So these are the three components. You should have a strategy, you should make sure you have your psychology in check, and you should also have a very sound uh, money management system. So what we are concerned and going to focus on this in this workshop is the algorithmic trading. We're not talking about making trades manually or going and investing manually. We are talking about algorithmic trading, and that is where you use a computer to execute trades on your behalf. You are not the one who is going to do things manually. You have computer to do that for you, and you expect it to make these trades at a given criteria, at a certain predefined criteria. So based on that, it will be able to execute the trade at the best possible rates or prices, and by thereby removing all your emotions. Because these things you do not have emotions, so you do not feel, you do not fear, you do not have hope or greed. Additional advantages of this system is the efficiency and speed they bring to the table. You cannot compete with a computer in terms of speed. These systems are fast. They can execute trades in milliseconds, sometimes even nanoseconds, right? So you can't compete with them in that regard. Consistency and discipline. Also, you can't be consistent. We are human. Sometimes we can oversleep. So when you are oversleeping, the days you happen to oversleep, so what happened? You miss that day. You can't look for opportunities in the market. But when you have, let's say, a robot doesn't sleep 247, is there monitoring and making trades on your behalf. You know, risk management. Your risk management, when you are selling, when you are going to sell, what is the portion of money you're going to buy? Sometimes you could be biased, you just like the stock and you put in all your life saving in that particular asset. It is Bitcoin. You got greedy, all your life saving you put it there. But if you have a trading bot and you tell it specifically, do not ever put more than 5% of my money in a particular opportunity. So no matter how good Bitcoin looks, it will not put more than 5%. Backtesting capabilities, another feature of having this is that they can go back in time. Meaning, if you have historical data and you have a strategy that you develop and you make it into an executable code, then you can test this strategy on that historical data and you'll see how it will perform, over the past year or over the past decade or even over the past day or something like that, depending on your strategy. However, if you are trying to test a strategy you develop and you want to do that manually, then you have to maybe open a paper trading account or investment account. You sit in front of your computer. Once you spot your opportunity to buy or sell, you go into the trade and you wait and you exit. So you are doing everything manually yourself. So you can only do that in the present or the future. But with the code that is executable, you can test it using historical data. We have scalability. Okay, as a human being, you can only do so many things at a go, right? You can't do many things simultaneously. You can multitask to some certain level. No matter how good you are at multitasking, you cannot be able to monitor, let's say, 200 different trading opportunities at a time and still expect not to miss a single opportunity that pops up. But when you have robots, you can have an army of robots, each one just focused on one single particular asset, particular stock, for example, or currency pair or whatever you are investing in or trading in. And they will be able to monitor and they will be able to take trades on your behalf. So this is a good thing. All right. So this is about the components and the benefits and the algorithmic trading. Next, it comes to the implementation part. So when building anything, you need tools. The tools we're going to use to build a trading bot are as follows. We have ChatGPT Plus, Google Colab, Python libraries, and Alpaca API. Why am I using ChatGPT Plus? Simply because I can explain what I want to do to ChatGPT Plus, and I expect it to give me the code. It can give me the executable code. Okay. So meaning that I do not have to know how to program as long as I know how to talk to ChatGPT. You can speak to ChatGPT, and as I said, it doesn't have to be ChatGPT. You could use Google Bard as well. It's also there. Bing Chat also. Anthropic, if you can have access to their chatbot, and so many other chatbots out there. Okay, you can build your own custom chatbot also. Maybe that can talk and know a lot about financial trading. So the idea is to talk to it in natural language and to get my codes that will work. Okay, and with the code, I will now have my bot working. Google Colab. So if I get the code from ChatGPT, I need an environment to run the code. That's where Google Colab comes in, and it is a cloud-based Python programming environment. So Python is a programming language. If you want to write a program, a Python code, you can use Google Colab. It's free. You can use it. You can collaborate with others. and it is very good when it comes to backtesting. So you can easily get historical data and you can backtest your trading strategy. Okay, it allows you to run complex simulations and what have you. We have Python libraries. These are like spare parts. All right, since we said we're going to use Google Colab and it's a Python-based development environment, then we can use these libraries to make our lives a lot easier. These are, as I said, like spare parts. It's like you trying to build a motor car, for example, and you have two options. Either you build every part of the car from scratch, or you go and get some spare parts and you couple everything together to get your vehicle. So if you are maybe an expert and you have a huge amount of money at your disposal, maybe you can build everything from scratch, starting from the tires. So you want to have a factory that can make tires, just because you want to build one car, you have to also build your own costume engine rather than to go to the market, look for a tire, look for a standard tire that can fit your car design. So these are the spare parts which we're going to use to make our trading bots. This include pandas. This is used for data analysis. NumPy is used for numerical computation. Matplot library is used for visualizations. So if you want to generate charts, bar chart, pie charts, and what have you, you can use Matplot library. Finance, Yahoo Finance is a library that allows you to have access to the financial market data. You can have any stock in the market, and you can be able to look at historical information about this stock. What is the open price at this particular day? What is the close price? What is the high of the day? What is the low of the day? It will provide you all this information. If you are trading or investing in the hourly time frame, you can also get all this information. So that's why Yahoo Finance will come into play. TA library, so this is the technical analysis library. It provides you with all those technical indicators like RSI, MACD, moving average, Bollinger Bands, all this. You can get access to them using this library. We have the scikit-learn. Okay, this scikit-learn allows functionalities, machine learning based functionalities. So if you want to use machine learning techniques, scikit-learn is the go-to library we use when making our implementation. TensorFlow and PyTorch, these are for deep learning. If you remember, I made mention of this, like we have PyTorch, we have TensorFlow, and I talked about deep learning, okay, which is a subset of machine learning. So if TensorFlow is by Google, PyTorch is by Facebook. All of them are used for building deep learning, okay, systems. News API. Okay, I'm going to use News API because I want to get some news. So based on the news I get, I will make decision. Okay, so that's the News API will allow you to get news, recent or latest news about a particular content. All right. We have natural language toolkit, NLTK. So this is like a toolbox that comes with like all these powerful natural language systems, which you can use to carry out some basic natural language functionalities, like the one we will see, which is the sentiment analysis. OpenAI, this is another library that allows you to have access to tools for reinforcement learning. You can also have tools for natural language processing. For example, the ChatGPT. You can have your API in ChatGPT. When you have it, you can be able to access all that power of ChatGPT using this API via your code, and it allows so many things to be possible. Okay, so these are the libraries we're going to use. Lastly, it's like, okay, we have talked to ChatGPT, we get the code, we put the code in what? Google Colab and use the Python libraries to make things happen. But then everything is happening in Google Colab. There is no connection with the market. That's where Alpaca comes in. So Alpaca is the one that will connect our code on Google Colab with our brokerage account. Okay, so they provide you with a brokerage account. Alpaca Securities, that's the name of their company. So they will provide you with a brokerage account. You go there, you sign in, and you have all the information. Then the API will form the bridge between the code and the uh, the brokerage account. Okay, so that's the API, application programming interface. So it will provide uh, the bridge. Okay, so that is all about the tools. Now, when it comes to building, you will always have to define these three things. So whenever you are building any strategy, you will have to define these three things. The first thing is the signal, the order type, and the risk management. The signal, of course, you will have to define when you have a trading opportunity. Okay, have you spotted an opportunity? Yes or no? That is the signal. Okay, so there has to be a logic that will tell you whether to buy, whether to go long or to go short. That component has to be there. Order type is, now that you have been able to identify an opportunity, are you going to execute that trade immediately or are you going to wait? So this is the type of order. They define when we are buying, when we are executing. Market order means execute immediately. The moment you spot the opportunity, you go and buy or you sell. Okay. Limit is saying, okay, I want to wait a bit. I don't want to buy now. I will wait a bit because I know it's going to go to 300. Now the price is 200. Why don't I wait till it drops to, let's say, 150 so that I can make a difference of 150? Okay, that's like a limit order. You have stop order. Okay, Tesla is now 200. You are predicting it is going to reach 300, but you are not sure. You want to wait till maybe when the price reaches 220 so that you are sure that yes, okay, yeah, the price is going in the direction of your prediction. So you can go in and buy. That's a stop order. Okay. We have the risk management component. As I told you earlier, you have to be able to manage your money. So first of all, you have the position sizing. What is the portion of your account are you willing to use to enter that particular trade? Are you going to use all your money, 100% of it, to buy or sell, or are you going to wait and maybe put a small amount? So that is the position sizing. You have to define this, okay? Otherwise, the trading bot might find it difficult. You can allow it though, because in some complex systems, and this is where AI or machine learning, especially, I say this, especially reinforcement learning, it can help with this. It can be able to help you identify the right position sizing for a particular trade. So it will look at so many things and it will tell you, you know what? I think we can go 10%. I think we can go 5%. I think we can go 1%. Okay, but it will involve a complex form of formulation to do that. But it is the best algorithm to do this for you. Take profit as well as the stop loss. So the take profit, this is saying, okay, when the price reach this particular level, I am happy. I'm going to exit the trade. Okay, the take profit as well as the stop loss will tell us when to exit the trade. The signal tells us if there is an opportunity. Then the order type will allow us to enter or buy into that opportunity, but then we would like to exit. And that's where the risk management comes into play, especially the take profit and the stop loss. They are the ones to take us out of the trade. Okay? So saying by default, if I do not do anything, I'm expecting Tesla to reach 300. Once it reaches 300, I'm willing to sell the stock and get my, let's say, $100. You know, that's my plan. If it drops to 150, because now it is 200, if it drops to 150, I'm also willing to take a $50 hit. Okay, that's my stop loss. I don't want to have more loss, you know. So these are the things that take you out of a particular trade. All right. So then, how do we use natural language processing to build these three components? Or which of these three components am I going to use natural language processing to help me with? Okay. So in my case, I'm going to use sentiment analysis. Okay. And the sentiment analysis, as I said, is to look at a news article and see if the sentiment of that article or a social media feed. You have this social media feed maybe, and you are trying to analyze it. Is it a good, tweet about that particular stock, or is it a bad tweet? Okay. So simply put, if I see any positive sentiment, okay, I'm going to buy. So I'm going to go long. This is my strategy, okay? Or this is my signal, okay? So the signal is the moment I see positive. So this is the green, right? This is green, for example. You have, your traffic light, green, orange, and red. So this is green. The negative is the case where the sentiment of the tweet or news article is negative. In this case, I'm going to go short. So by going short, I'm going to go to the broker, tell him, you know what, borrow me, let's say 10 shares of Tesla. If you borrow me 10 shares of Tesla, then I will just go to the market. Okay, I will sell it at the market price. When the price drops, because I have predicted the price is going to drop because people are not happy about Tesla, I read a news, or my robot read a news and it tells me that the sentiment is negative. So once it reaches 150, okay, I will go and buy 10 shares in the market and return your 10 shares back to you. By doing that, I make $500 profit. Okay, so this is red. Okay, the neutral case is this. So this is neutral. Okay, so here I will either hold or do nothing. Okay, by hold, I mean if I'm already in the trade, I will just hold. If I am not in the trade, I will not buy or sell. I will just stop. Okay, so this is the way you can use sentiment analysis, and this is how mostly it's used. But you don't normally use it alone. You normally use it as a complement to another technique. Maybe you will have some additional indicators. For example, you can have price to earning ratio together with the sentiment analysis. Okay, yeah. Using this, you can be able to tell whether Tesla is really doing well, because the fundamentals are important too. Maybe the sentiment is negative. Maybe some, let's say, journalist just hates Tesla. So whatever he writes is negative. You don't want to be fooled by it. You don't want your assistant to get fooled by this journalist who is biased. Okay, maybe he's just biased. And then the fundamentals are strong for the company. Tesla is doing very well. They are profitable. Then they are good to buy. Even if the journalist is biased and he's saying bad things, we will still want to buy. So they are used actually as a complement to other strategies. And you can have this reverse case. The company is doing terrible, and maybe they bribed this journalist and he wants to write bad things, or good things about the company, so that he will deceive people into buying the shares of that particular company. So if you use only sentiment analysis, you will also fall into that trap. Okay, so the next thing is the logic. So this is how I'm going to have my logic defined to the computer so that it will make sense. First of all, we talk about going long, right? So I want to go long. Okay, there is something in the system. When I run it, I will show it to you. There is something they call compound. There is an output value called compound. So if this compound is above 0.5, that's when I am going to go long. Okay, and if I am in no position, okay, if I am in no position, okay, so because news article come in maybe every hour, I already in the first hour of the day, I see that Tesla is doing good. People are happy about Tesla and got a very good news, and I bought into Tesla. Then after the second hour, another news came in. Happy, people are still happy. Then should I buy? No, I don't want to buy. I only want to buy if that is the first instance. If this is not the first instance, I just want to maintain my current since it is the same. So people are still happy, then I buy. The reverse is the case, right? For the going short, and this I will make it in such a way that the compound is less than 0.5. Okay, minus 0.5. And also if I am in no position. So I don't want to have duplicate. trades. I just want to buy it once. I will hold, okay, if the compound lies between, so lies between what, minus 0.5 and what. So of course I could have done this. It's less than compound, and this is less than king, something like this. So if the compound value is ranging, let's say 0, 0.1, 0.2, minus zero point 0.1, in this case, I'm going to hold. If I don't have trades, I'm not going to buy any into anyone. I'm not going to execute any trade. If I already have some positions open, I will maintain my positions. I will get out, okay? If, let's say, I have a negative sentiment, okay? So I will go out if I have negative sentiment. Okay, let me not use, let me use a generic term. Okay, I will exit the trade if the sentiment reverses. Okay, what I'm saying here is the first hour when the day opened, everybody was happy about Tesla. But then in the second hour, people are now sad. Maybe some bad news happened, you know. So I don't want to stay in that trade. I want to sell. That's why I'm going to exit. I will just exit because most likely, since the sentiment has changed, I don't know, maybe this sentiment could last for the whole day, it could last for the whole week. Maybe Tesla did something really terrible that maybe could even spell their doom, you know. So I don't want to stay. The moment the sentiment reverses, I am going to exit my position. Okay. So that's what I'm saying. So these are the four scenarios which I have and I defined as my trading logic. Okay, the other type. So if I spot a trading opportunity, I plan to buy immediately. So I'm going to execute a market order. So I'm going to buy immediately. I'm not going to wait, okay, for anything. I will just buy at that current price. My risk management, first of all, my position sizing, I'm going to use a maximum of 2%. Okay, so 2% max. I'm not gonna go more than that. Meaning if I have, let's say, 100,000 or $10,000, I don't want to lose at a single trade anything more than $200. Okay, this is what I am willing to lose. Okay, and my risk reward ratio, my RRR, is what, 1:2. Meaning if I lose this 200, I'm hoping, is because I was hoping I'm going to get 400. Okay, if I lose the 200, is because I was hoping I could make 400. Okay, for example, let's say Tesla now, the current price, okay, is 500. Okay, so and then I see that the sentiment about Tesla is good, people are happy about Tesla, I decided to buy Tesla. And because I was willing to lose 200, if I was wrong, you know, something happened, you know, the prediction was wrong, then I'm going to lose 200, right? Meaning the moment Tesla falls to 300, I'm going to sell. Therefore, this is my stop loss level, 300. So I will set my stop loss at 300, so that the moment Tesla falls to 300, I will sell my position. I will take my 200 hit and go. Okay. The reverse is the case. If, for example, the price is 500 and I go, of course, I was hoping I was going to make what, 400. That means at the $900 price, right? Okay, this is going to be my TP. So I put my TP level at what, 900. So I entered at 500. The moment Tesla reached what, 900, I will exit. Okay, and take my 400 profit. This is my plan, and I will go and stick to this. I will not say I'm gonna stay. I will just get out. Of course, there could be other more advanced risk management strategies which you can employ, but for the sake of the demonstration today, we are going to stick to this. All right. Okay. So this is the framework I was telling you about. We will start by building the strategy, just like we discussed. We have built it now, and we will discuss this strategy which we built with ChatGPT so that we can get the code. And the code will allow us to set up the environment. And I will show you a demonstration of the natural language process. So you have to see it, okay? Then we will test how to connect to the market. We will then test the strategy and automate our trades. All right. So I hope all of this is clear. If you have any question, please, this is a good time, this is the right time to ask. Questions?
Hi.
Hello.
Hello, hi.
Hey, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. All right. So go ahead. So what's your question? Oh, okay. No question. All right. Just wanted to say hi. Thank you. Okay. Questions?
Sorry, but a quick question. You told us in the beginning that we will be able to get the recorded
Yeah.
video and the slides as well. But can you explain how can I get it?
Yes, I will explain that. Sure.
Thank you.
Yeah, I will. All right. Any other question? Okay. So to answer your question, is actually the next slide. Okay. First of all, if you just want to get the video, you can get it. Okay. Go to our YouTube channel, Fat Academy. You should be able to get it, all the recordings of our previous sessions. And we also have these sessions, okay, uploaded to our learning platform. Okay. So we have our learning platform. This is the code here. You can register on the app. It's free. Okay. I've sent it in the chat. You can just use it. You can just register. You can access the workshops, everything for free. The resources are there. Let me see if yeah. Okay, so let me share my screen. Okay, can you see my screen? So if you come to Asat Academy, okay, of course, you once you sign in, it takes you here, brings you here. This is the home screen. You have private classes, you have public workshops. So if you open the public workshops, this is the workshop we are currently working on, AI in finance. Okay, you can just go to begin lessons. Okay, these are all the previous ones we did. Okay, starting from 1st of January, so January 2024. So let's assume you open this one. Okay, this is the recording and this is the video. You can watch it, okay, directly. You want to get the resources, look at it here, download lesson resources. You click here, it will download it for you. Okay, you can have it here. So you have all the code, the lecture notes, as well as the prompt that I used to talk with ChatGPT. All right, that clear? I believe so. Okay. So what's next? So as you saw from the app, we have held a lot of workshops starting from 1st of January, and we were building, and today is the 23rd. Okay, we have two more workshops which we intend to do, and what we intend to do is going to be more of how to even use the more powerful open AI chat GPT, and I will tell you why I plan to use the chat GPT incorporated into the strategy. Okay, I will tell you why once we start with the demo. So these are the last workshops that are left, only 2 more. So if you have the opportunity to join these workshops, make sure you follow us on Eventbrite. I'm sure you registered for this workshop on Eventbrite, so you can do that as well. Okay. If you also need some additional assistance, for example, you need some guidance, maybe you are trying to implement any of these things we did, okay, and you have some issue, you can just book a meeting. I will send the link in the chat. 30 minutes is free, you don't pay for it, and I'm always happy to help out. Okay. So if you have any project in mind that you want to develop too, we can discuss and I can give you some pointers. Or you want to carry out a research study for maybe school, academia, or what have you. Or you want to get some training in this regard also, you can just reach out, we can talk. All right. So now to the demo, to the building the demo, the part that is the intermediate part. Okay. So we are now here and I will show you how to go about this. Oh, okay, where is my trying to open the pattern from this here. All right. So these are the tools which we discussed. Okay, starting with NLP, ChatGPT. You have Alpaca and you have Google Colab. You can see these are the 3 tools here. Okay. So Alpaca, this is Alpaca. You can go and just type Alpaca. You should be able to open an account. You can have a paper trading account. They will put 100K in your account for you, which you can use to place trades. Okay. All these are some of the trades we executed in our previous sessions. Some of them are still running. Okay. So if you want to trade manually in Alpaca, you come, you put a symbol. Let's say you want to buy Netflix, or if you want to sell, you come to sell. Okay, you can borrow, shares, market. Okay, shares, dollars. Let's go with dollars. Why dollars? Because I don't want to lose more than 2%. So 2% of 100,000 is 2,000. All right. So I'll put 2,000 here. I will say review order. I will confirm order. You can see order created. The order has been created. Let's see. Netflix sell. This one a few seconds ago. All right. Awesome. So this is Alpaca. Okay. ChatGPT. I'm sure all of you are aware of ChatGPT and what it can do. And for the sake of time, I will just show you how I was able to discuss with ChatGPT what I wanted to get done. All right. So starting, I talked to it about my strategy, right? If you come here, look at it, this is the framework. So we started with building the strategy, the things I explained. Now look at it here. I explained everything. So I told it my objective is to use natural language processing to build a trading strategy. And this is the logic which I told you, compound this. I will tell it after I feed the date, the latest news. I want to get the prediction. Am I going long because people are happy? Sentiment is above 0.5. If I'm going long, I will set all my stop loss, take profit based on the risk management which I defined here. Okay, and this is the other one. If I am already in the position, I'm not gonna buy again to avoid the duplicate. Okay, and I said if the prediction is opposite, so if the sentiment has reversed, this indicates what? 10 sentiment reversed, I'm going to exit all positions for that particular trade, and I want to make a market order. I tell it my initial capital is this, my risk is this, and these are the stop loss and the take profit. Okay, and it said, yeah, I understood this, and it even summarize it. Always tell it to do this because I told it to do that. Let me know if you understand this before we move to the next step. Very important. Otherwise, it will go and take and hallucinate. There is something we call hallucination. It can hallucinate and start to give you uh, terrible suggestion. Okay, that's the thingy. So we discussed this and it understood. I was happy. So the next thing is to set up the environment. So here I will install all the Python libraries. Okay, and you will see it will also tell me all the libraries I need to install and get things done. Okay. So whenever I want to do something, it will tell me, for example, here it told me to what set up the news API, and you will see that. So I started with this. I installed all of this, the news API to get the news, natural language toolkit for the sentiment analysis, Alpaca trade API so that I can connect with Alpaca, pandas for data analysis, Y finance to get data, to get information directly from the market. We have Matplot library if I want to do some visualization and schedule for automation. Okay, so the next is the natural language processing step, which is this now. Okay, so we want to see the sentiment analysis. So the first thing you need to do, you need to sign up. And this is what they said here. Sign up, give me the link, go to this news, you sign up and you will get an API key. It will give you an API key. And this is my API key. When I signed up, I was given this key. Okay, because here you can see from the code it gave me, it told me you need your API key, and that's exactly what I did here. Okay, so this is the news API and what have you. So I copied all of this code the way it is. I created a new code. So if you open Google Colab, all you have to do when you open Google Colab and you want to create a code line, you click on code. If you want to write a text, you click on text. So I added this and it generated. So I view the articles. Now look at the articles about, okay, this is Apple. Okay, tell it about Apple. So this is the articles. So look at some of these articles that have been. These are all the latest articles about Apple. Okay, this one the author was marketwatch.com. Okay, you can see the URL, image, and this was the date it was published, 22, which is yesterday. Yeah, so I would like to say this. For the free API, you will get 1 day, the last day information. If you want to get today's information, which is 23, right? Then you have to pay for subscription. But this is good for demonstration purpose. As you can see, this was published just yesterday. Okay, and this was the article. This was the title. Apple Vision Pro may have sold out, but one analyst has a major concern. Okay, this is the description. Apple Inc. has sold some 160K to this, and so on. All right. So this is enough for us to come up with an idea whether this is a good news or not. Okay. We have sold out. Somebody could say, yeah, this is a good news, right? That means people are happy. But this second part, but one analyst has a major concern. Who is this analyst? You know, I might ask, who is this analyst? Is he some, big gun in the market that if he has concern, I should also be worried about? If he is not, then, I will go with this, that Apple Vision may have sold out. It's a positive sentiment. Therefore, I should buy Apple stock. All right. So you can see this is it. This is another article by Justinas Baltorisaitis. Okay. And this is the title and what have you. It was published also yesterday, about an hour ago after this was published. All right. So we are happy. We get access to news in our coding environment. So the next thing is I wanted to try the sentiment analysis to do it automatically. Now I did it manually. I was the one reading, right? What if I can pass this to the machine? And that's exactly what I did. So we used the natural language toolkit, all right? And it was able to do that. And it told us to install it also here. You can see install, and I did that already. So it did everything and it generated the headlines. Okay, this is the first headline. You see the headline for that first article which we read. Apple Vision Pro may have sold out, but one analyst has a major concern. Okay, so look at how this sentiment analyzer rank this this headline. It's not negative, okay? It says it's overwhelmingly neutral. 11% of it could be positive. So 11.1, whereas 88.9 is what? Neutral. The compound is like the weighted average for all this. And this is the compound that I was talking about in my trading logic. When I say if this compound is greater than 0.5, I'm going to buy. If it is less than what? 0.5 minus 0.5, I'm going to go short. Any value in between, I'm not going to do anything. Okay? So this compound is 12.8%. So this is not good news for me to buy Apple. It's not good enough. And it's not terrible enough to go and short Apple. For that, nothing will happen here. But the previous one, those the news before this one, about Invesco Trust ETF forecast for end of 2024. So let's see, what did this guy say? Yes, Invesco. Yeah, here. Investors. Yes, futures rise after S&P. Okay, this done. Oh, yeah, this one Invesco forecast for this. So over the past year, the Invesco Q2Q Trust ETF received a major boost primarily due to this. Okay, so this is an ETF, so which Apple is part of. It has a very nice forecast. You can see the compound is more than 0.5. So with this now, based on my logic, when this news was received, I'm going to buy. Okay, when the latest news, which was this, was received, yeah, I will still maintain my position because this one is not up to 0.5 and it's not negative. There is no reversal. Therefore, I will still just hold on to my Apple stock. You can see this case here is overwhelmingly positive. So it's a good value. It's good to buy this one here as well. This one here. So if you have bought Apple here and you saw this one, you should be happy. Stay in your trade. Here, there is nothing happening. Here is happy. Stay in your trade. Keep on staying. Don't sell Apple. We have not seen where there is a reversal of sentiment. Let's see if we can identify any negative. Any negative? Okay, we have one negative, 5% only. Not, aha, this is negative, but only 32.9%. It's not up to 50% the negative direction, minus 0.296. Okay, you can go through them. There are hundreds of them, but overall, I think they are all positive. So if you bought Apple at this value, I am sure you should keep on holding to it up to the last day, which was yesterday. Okay, printed the lens. There are 100 headlines here that have been processed for us. Okay, so now you have seen two things. The first thing is we have accessed news via the code. The second thing is we have used this sentiment analyzer to analyze all the 100 articles, which could have taken us, who knows, only God knows how long it will take us to go and do this analysis, but it did all that for us. Okay, now we have all this. All that remains is to come and put everything together and start placing trades in our brokerage account. Okay, so how to do that? This is a very good example. I'm going to test connection between my account and Alpaca. So look at Alpaca, right? This is Alpaca. Okay, and I would like to be able to place trades. I showed you how to do that manually in the beginning, but you can also place trades automatically from your code without you having to place trades, okay, manually. Let's look at it. And actually I talked to it, this guy here. Okay, I told it this same thing. Okay, so I told it I want to build a trading bot that will trade Netflix stock. I want to use Alpaca API to connect to the market. I've installed all library requirements. I'm using a paper trading account to test my strategies. Test the connection, start by executing an order on Netflix. Let it run for 10 seconds, then cancel the order. And ChatGPT told me what to do. First of all, it told me to install Alpaca, and it gave me the code. I already did that. Then it gave me this Python code. Okay, but there are some important notes. Whenever you see important notes, please read them. The first one, it told me you have to replace these values with my actual API keys, and these are the values here. Okay, your API key, your API key. So how to get these values? If you come to Alpaca, just scroll down, you will see API keys. Okay, I have generated my keys already, so I can regenerate new ones, but I don't have to. So when you are opening an Alpaca account for the first time and you want to get API keys, you come here and you generate them. You will see three values. The first is the endpoint, you have the key, and then the last will be the secret, the API secret. Make sure you copy everything and save it in your maybe Microsoft Word document or something like that, so that you have access to it. Okay, and that's exactly what I did. I have this code, I copied it and I pasted it here. I came and I replaced my key here and my secret here. So you can see this is my key, right? PK68T, PK68T, and so on. Okay, so let's see. We want to execute a trade on Netflix. Let's see if that can happen. Okay, we're going to buy one share. You can see this is one share. It's going to run for 10 seconds and it's going to terminate. So let's run this. Market order for one share has been submitted. Let's see. Will it reflect here? Yeah, waiting for you. Netflix. This is the last one. Aha, you see it's here. Netflix buy quantity 1 a few seconds ago. Okay, so it has worked. Okay, so we can, now that you see, you can access news via the code. You can have your code analyze the news. If it is positive, you buy. If it is negative, you sell. Okay, you can also use code to be able to be placing orders automatically. So you have all the pieces, right? All you have to do now is just to put them together, and that's what I did next, which is to test it. Okay, and I started by doing this, by testing the strategy. I put everything, okay, and I got yeah, I had some to and fro with this because I wanted to just have the code, and I got to the code that I needed. Here, and I'm looking for the position. I called it starting. Yeah, here. So I say awesome. Next, I want to backtest the strategy I described above using the sentiment analysis model and the collected news data. I want to print the total number of trades, the number of times I go long, and the number of times I go short. The number of times I hold my trades, the number of times I didn't trade, the return in percentage, and the return in dollar. Assuming my initial capital was 10,000 K, and I maintain the risk management I mentioned in the strategy. Write me the code to simulate the strategy on the historical data while recording each trade's outcome. Lastly, evaluate the strategy based on profitability, maximum drawdown, win-loss ratio, and other relevant metrics. Use a functional modular approach to build me the code so that we can reuse the parts during the deployment. Okay, I did that and started to generate the code. But when it generated this first code, it came with placeholders. Okay, I was not happy with placeholders. I didn't want to do any work. Okay, so what I did was to tell it, you know what, break this and remove placeholders. Okay, so that you have. So it did that. It removed placeholders. It took all the information. Okay, and it gave me this code, and I just started to copy and paste them here, starting with the first one. Okay, all right, so we have this, but I left one thingy because I wanted you to see. If you are using ChatGPT, sometimes if it generates codes for you, you could come across some errors. So you will have an error. You will see the environment will tell you error. So what is needed from you is to go and address that error. Okay, one easy way is to copy the error, paste it in ChatGPT, and tell it, how do I resolve this error? Because it was the one that gave you the code, it could be able to look at the code, understand where it made the mistake, edit that part, and give you the corrected code. Okay, so this is one key technicality. All right, so we do this. We have, and we printed the price data. For example, this is for Apple. You can see These are the price for this particular day, which is 18th. Okay, at this particular minute, 9:30, this was the price 186. Okay, that's when it closed, and so on. We have like 780 rows. Okay, here, yes, so this is what I was talking about. You have some error called name strategy is not defined and what have you. Okay, of course, for me, because I know the code, I can easily go and work on it and just change the error. I know what happened. You can come to here. It's looking for, yeah, backtesting. It's looking for this strategy. Okay, and yeah, so you can easily look for it. Another way is to just come here, copy this, it. Okay, I got this error. You know, when I run the code above, here's the error. Of course, you can also add the code, the code that gives the error. I'm showing you how to do this so that you can be able to do it yourself, and you can paste it, and it should be able to give you a response. Okay. All right, so it will explain what have you, and yeah. So basically, we already have this code. All I needed was this part. Okay, this was the part I needed. So just copy this, and I will come here. I will execute the strategy before. Okay, then I have trade records, backtest strategy, combined data strategy, which is exactly this one. Okay, yeah, it's missing one required. It's not. All right, this is it here. Okay, price data. All right, so this is okay. I can also work on this. Anyways, this is how you do it, and once you have any error, please discuss this with ChatGPT, and it will help you resolve things. If you can code, then your life will be made a lot easier with ChatGPT because it will give you the skeleton. For example, here, the first place it started with providing me with the skeleton because it believed or it thought maybe I could trade. Okay, so it gave me the skeleton here. Yeah, this was the first one. So it gave me the skeleton, implement this, it was telling me what to do, but I was lazy and I asked it for the full code. And this is for the sake of the demo. You can do the same thing when you are working on it. So these are all the things, and this is how you use all these tools. I've shown you how to use the News API, how to use the Google Colab, how to use Alpaca, how to connect with Alpaca, how to use ChatGPT. All right. So with all these tools, you can just go and keep practicing and doing whatever comes to mind. This is just one use case of the sentiment analysis in the context of in the context of the financial sector. Okay. All right. Are there any questions? For the sake of time, we will call it a day. You have questions, you can ask. You can open your audio, you can unmute, and you can. Okay, no questions. All right, then I thank you guys for staying in this session for almost 1.5 hour. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for investing time in this workshop, and I hope to see you in the upcoming workshops. I hope you will have the time to also build your own bot. All right. All right, guys. Take care. Bye.